Hi, my name is Shane. Thanks for hanging out today. I'm going to try 3 different microphone pairs as drum set overheads. I'm going to use the Glenn Johns technique and just a basic XY pair centered on the bass drum. The toms are not close mic'd, so all the tom sound will be coming through the overheads, as well as the cymbals. And of course, the snare and kick drum will bleed a little bit, but the snare and kick are also mic'd individually. The inexpensive pair I'm going to try are the Behringer C-2s. These are about $50 for a matched pair and sound great at that price. The mid-range for me is the Shure KSM137. Those are around $700 for a matched pair. And the more expensive ones are my Earthworks SR25s. These are about $625 each. Of course, you can get way more expensive than that. I've seen guys spend thousands of dollars each on drum overhead mics. But for my budget and what I record for, this is about what I'm willing to do. So I will flash up on the screen what technique I'm using, which mics I'm using, and you can use your own judgment to see what works for you and what is in your budget. Check it out. So there you have it, the Behringer C2s versus the Shure KSM137 versus the Earthworks SR25. I think you can get a usable sound with all of these mics. I haven't listened back to this specific recording, but I've had the Behringers for years, and even at $50 a pair, they give really good results for this kind of thing, being, YouTube videos, amateur recordings. If I was going to record an album or something like that for distribution, I would go to a studio and pay a professional. They know what they're doing, they have the right equipment and the right stuff. But for my purposes, YouTube and low budget recordings, the Earthworks are what I own and I use pretty much exclusively. When I'm doing things with a backbeat where the snare is the center of the whole sound and it needs to be right there in the middle, I use the Glenn Johns. When I'm doing jazz or something like that, I will either use an XY or even a spaced pair. Where the one of them's kind of right here over the hi-hat and snare, the other one's over kind of by the ride and floor tom. That works only because the snare doesn't need to be the focal point of the recording. The Shures, actually, this is the first time I've used them. They are borrowed from the school where I teach, but I'm sure the results there are going to be comparable. You don't have to spend a ton of money on the Earthworks either. If you're not worried about getting a matched pair, you can get them individually, and sometimes you can find good deals. One of mine was slightly used. I got it for $525. The other was an open box. I got it for $550. So, you don't have to pay $1,300 for a matched pair of those, especially for, this level of recording. The Earthworks is all I'll ever need at my level. Once again, I'm Shane. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully this video has helped you make some responsible decisions with your money. Make sure you check out all my social media sites. They're linked down in the description below. I will link also all of these microphones so you can, know exactly what I was using. Have a nice day. Take care.